The millennial generation made up the largest voting bloc this election. What issues matter to them? Well, joining me now are young voters who supported 4 different parties. Mariana, let's start with you. As a Liberal, part of the Liberal activism group at McMaster University, why do you support the Liberals?
The Liberals probably best reflect my own values. I come from immigrant parents who come from like a war-torn country, and coming here, like, it was the Liberal Party that like provided them with like more resources and greater services for them to start building their family and start like rebuilding their lives. And so I like to think it's a family affair, and I support with the Liberals, but overall, yeah, it's just like a greater like reflection of my own values and what I think is best for Canada.
And you still love their pro-immigration stand.
I do, I love it, it's great.
Okay, Lucy, you've actually worked on Parliament Hill in a Conservative Member of Parliament's office. You voted Conservative. How do you feel about how they managed this election, and why did you vote for them?
I think the Conservatives did well this election. I think a few bumps in the road for me. There's a number of reasons I chose to vote Conservative. There's a lot of Conservative MPs and people in the Conservative Party who I really support and who I really think deserve to be there. I think the biggest thing for me was affordability in the economy. And I think I'm a student. I'm going to be graduating within likely this government's mandate. And I want to graduate into an economy that's strong. Hopefully taxes are low. Hopefully jobs are available. And I think that the Conservative Party kind of gives the best chance for that to happen.
Okay. And Christina, you were sacrificial. You actually ran for the Green Party. You had finished your master's degree. It was time to start. How do you feel about what the country said about Greens and about what your party stood for?
Yeah, I think that the country overall did take a really strong stance in the Green Party. We saw over 1 million people voted for the Green Party. We only got 1% less of the votes than the Bloc, but that only translated into 3 seats versus over 30 seats. So that's unfortunate. If we had proportional representation, as we were promised in 2015, we would have seen different results.
Okay, Victoria, there's going to be some rebuilding in the Green Party. How do you feel about the future?
I'm really optimistic. I think that Elizabeth May has been an inspiration for especially me as a young woman running in politics, but for other women across the country as well. And she's a great mentor, and I've spent a lot of time with her throughout this campaign, and I think that she's ready to really help out the next leader as well.
All right, okay, so now in Montreal, Rhett, you have the distinction of being from Alberta, but you've been studying in Montreal the past 3 years. You are the treasurer for the NDP Students Association there. Tell us how you feel about how the NDP fared, your party fared in this election.
I would say I'm definitely glad that we actually have a path to holding influence in government this time. It's always obviously disappointing to lose seats in an election, but this time, with the Liberals being relegated to a minority government, there is the opportunity for the NDP to have their voice heard in Ottawa for this term, and that's something I'm excited about.
Your leader, Jagmeet Singh, played such an interesting role because you've got Bill 21 there in Quebec being used as the polarizing issue. Your premier is asking people to get behind that, while your leader actually wouldn't even be able to serve in political office wearing his turban. Do you feel we should be doing more about Bill 21 with the NDP distinctive?
Sure. I'm not a fan of Bill 21. I think it's discriminatory, and I think it's dangerous. I strongly support opposing it, frankly.
Okay. All right. So as you guys all saw as young voters, what does your generation care about that did come through in these results? What do you think this is going to be the next thing we should really be chasing down? And Victoria, let's start with you.
I think it was blatantly clear that the environment and our climate crisis was on the mind of every single voter out there. It was ranked nationally as the 3rd most important issue
Young
this election.
voters out there, or every voter? You think?
No, I'm saying so for every voter, it's the 3rd most
young.
important issue, but for young voters, it is the most important issue this election.
Okay.
It's the reason that I ran, and the most important reason that we should go out and vote, because it's our future and our generation that has to worry about this.
Mariana, the most important issue you think to young voters in this?
I have to agree with Victoria, definitely the environment, but I also believe that it was about protecting the environment or getting like better environmental regulations while also supporting like a growing economy.
So you want to see the government work on that, this new minority government work on the environment. Lucy, for you?
I honestly would agree. I think the environment is so key to young people. But I would also echo affordability, and especially I think student loans and paying for school.
Let's give the closing word to you, Rhett, in Montreal. The key issue for a young voter like you, for this government to work on.
Of course, I want to echo Victoria's statements on the importance of the environment. It is, you'll recall just a few weeks ago, there was something like 500,000 person march in Montreal, largely comprised of students protesting the climate emergency. I think it's really impossible to deny the importance of this issue.
Well, you're inspiring to us all. Thank you to our panelists, Mariana Polyak, Lucy Brinkman, Rhett Dumancé in Montreal, and Victoria Galley. Thank you for joining us.